Hi everyone, and welcome to the Parrot Teacher. David here, and today's video is the second in a series of videos on parrot anxiety. If you missed the first video, I'll leave a card for it now. That discusses the signs of anxiety and stress in parrots. This video is going to talk about the causes and offer some solutions, and then the final video in the series is going to discuss human anxiety, our anxiety, and how that plays a role in looking after our parrots and how we can maybe help ourselves and them in that. Also remember, if you need expert one-to-one help, you can always get in touch with us, me and Sophie, via our business, Best Behaved Birds. There's a link on my channel page and a link in the description, and we offer professional help with your parrot problems. You can also drop me a comment if it's something quick and easy, and maybe I can help through that too. So let's get started. Like with us humans, parrots can suffer from past trauma. Problems in the past can impact them today. Because they're so intelligent and they're so quick to learn and adapt, past events can play a major role in stress and anxiety state. They learn that certain things will cause them problems, they try to avoid them, which causes stress. We could be talking about being injured in the past or being majorly mistreated by previous owners, and all these things will play a major factor in how they behave today. And you can see major signs of stress or anxiety towards other humans or in different situations because of these past traumas. Now, some people may not like to hear this next one, but it is a proven thing with parrots that a too small an environment or cage can cause anxiety or stress in parrots. Similarly, not being allowed out of that cage or environment can lead to the same problems. We're talking about having no enrichment in that cage as well, talking about no room to move, and finally, if there's other parrots in that environment, for example, if you have a pair or more and they can't escape from each other if they're having a squabble or problems, that can be a major source of stress and anxiety for parrots. We've seen it constantly through consults, through watching other material on the internet, and this is one of the big things. So if you can improve the cage environment, that can play a major role in helping parrots feel more comfortable and less stressed. Now, I actually did a blog post on this recently on our business site, Best Behaved Birds, about consent, and this next point is about lack of respect for boundaries. This can cause major breaks in trust, anxiety and stress in parrots. We're talking about being forced to do things they don't want. That can lead to learned helplessness, which I really do not like to see. Being touched without consent, like just constantly grabbed and touched. Olive had a problem with that before she came here, and it took ages to make her trust our hands again. Like being touched all over, being grabbed is a major one, and I know sometimes you can't avoid it if there's a really dangerous situation and training's not there yet, you just have to, but if you can avoid grabbing a parrot, that can help an awful lot in respecting their trust. Another major source of anxiety and stress in parrots are constant or massive big changes. So if things are changing constantly in a big way, or there's one really big change, that can lead to stress and anxiety in your parrot. And the most common one for this is coming home to your house for the first time. Many parrots will adapt and be okay with this. Some will get anxious and stressed because maybe they've been taken away from their flock and now they're on their own with you. You know your house is lovely. I've said this loads of times. You know your house is lovely, you trust your family, everyone's lovely. They don't know that. That's like a country move for them, equivalency. So it's important to remember that. But aside from this, we're talking about house moves, we're talking about big changes in the room, redecoration, maybe like new pets, children, that sort of thing. All of these can lead to anxiety and stress in our parrots. And it's really important to keep that in mind when these things are going on, and maybe try and put things in place to help with it ahead of time. Lack of sleep, just like with us humans, can be a major source of stress and anxiety for our parrots. Lack of sleep tends to be one of those things linked with hormones, and it does exacerbate that problem, but it can also cause a lot more stress and anxiety in our parrots, and it can mean they're cranky just like us, and it's something that's quite easy to fix as well, just by increasing the sleep. Environmental factors, and I've sort of grouped this in as one big thing because there are so many, can lead to anxiety and stress. It's important to monitor the environment, see what may be a problem. Children is a major one, other pets coming in and out can be another problem. Constant loud noises, for example fireworks, car horns, loads of stuff going on outside, all of this can lead to stress and anxiety, especially if it's something that goes on for a long time, like a party, or for example if it's just you live in a really busy place. Now it's important to remember as well that some parrots will adapt very well to this and they'll be like not too fussed. However, others, because they're all individuals, may find this a very stressful experience. So the next one is diet, and that means excess sugar and fat. It's amazing how much diet plays a role in so many aspects of our parrot's life, just like with us. And if your parrot has a really high fat and sugar diet, we're talking about loads and loads of fruit, human food, maybe just all seed, that can cause anxiety and stress. And the reason for that is they have all this excess energy, and if they're not coming out much or not getting the opportunity to burn it off, that can mean that they get really stressed and anxious, because it's like with our children, if they can't get rid of that energy, they just go crazy, don't they? It's like with the sugars and the sweets. So it's important to try and look at, oh dear, Chip obviously doesn't want any more pets, so there we go. It's important to look at the diet and try and get it right, because it does help an awful lot. The last one I want you to talk about is neophobia, and that means fear of new things. And this is caused by a lack of exposure to new things. If we shelter our parrots too much, then they become scared of the environment and all sorts of things. Just like if you live a very closeted life, sometimes things may be a bit scary out and about, which I'll maybe talk about in the next video. It's important to expose your parrots to new things a little bit, and I'll talk about that in the solution section. I mean, we're not talking about major things, because that can lead to anxiety, as we discussed in the previous points. However, little changes and just getting them used to these little things and different environmental factors can help a lot in avoiding neophobia and building a more confident and just well-rounded parrot. Chip's just demanding constant pets now, so I'll just have to indulge him while we're filming. So we're going to talk about some solutions now. We've talked about all the problems, and the first solution I want to offer is kind of an obvious one. I've got a video on it which I'll leave a card for now, and that is desensitization training. Desense is one of the best and greatest ways of getting over neophobia, as we discussed previously, and all sorts of other problems, and introducing your parrot to potentially scary things that maybe can't be avoided in the environment. And it's just such a useful technique for so many things. So I really would highly recommend desensitization training to solve some of these problems. The next one may seem a bit obvious, but that is being mindful of your behaviour in the environment, their behaviour, and your interactions with your parrot. Can you make something consent-based? For example, could you allow a little bit more time before they have to go back into the cage to get them in? So maybe you can get them to step up with a nice treat. Can you offer, like, you really can't make up your mind, can you? Do you want to go over there? Is that why? Can you make everything a little bit more consent-based? Does it have to be a forced interaction? What can you do for your behaviour, monitoring their behaviour, and in your interactions with your parrot to make everything a lot nicer? Leading on from this, assess your environment and how you can improve it. Be mindful of the environment. Can you maybe just shift over your TV watching to the bedroom a bit earlier so they can have better sleep? Can you maybe look at the other pets and how much noise they make? I know some of these factors may be difficult to manage, but all it takes is maybe a 5-minute brainstorming session once in a while to think of how these little changes may help. Increase your parrot's sleep. Again, may seem obvious, but I've got all sorts of videos on these topics if you want to explore them more. And improve their diet. So improve the diet, maybe add more fruit and veg into it. Fruit depending on the parrot, and you want to keep that in smaller portions. Add herbs to the diet. Maybe add some flowers like chamomile, because that has a calming effect on us. It also works on our parrots. Look at the diet and see ways you can improve there, because it can have a massive impact, especially over time. Another way that me and Sophie find very useful when we're looking at all sorts of things with our own parrots is filming your interactions with them. You may pick up on something watching it back that you may not notice at the time, because obviously when you're in the interaction, you don't know what's going on. You're focused on maybe getting them to step up, or you're just so fixated on what's going on, you may miss things in the environment or very subtle behavioural signs that are showing a bit of stress or reluctance to do something. So filming interactions is a really, really useful technique. So guys, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it useful. As I said, this is number 2 in a series of videos. Next one, we'll be exploring a little bit about human anxiety, our anxieties, how that plays a role in our parrots' lives. But in the meantime, any comments, suggestions, discussions, please feel free to leave them down below. But in the meantime, from me and a very cuddly and relaxed Chip and Fish, take care and have a really good day.